this school in particular, you know the name. It's called Kirongo Primary.
Yeah.
So this is the field we used to play, but it was established in 1979. I'm told that it used to be a settlement. There used to be families, but then they agreed to move out to create space for the school. Um, uh, of late, there are a lot of more permanent structures like this. But before, most of the classrooms were here, and they were all mud walled. So my primary school was in a mud walled class. So you had to pass class 4 to get to those more permanent structures. And for some reason, it remains the best performing school. So typically, class 8 here performs way better than other school, and it has ended up producing many professionally successful people, including by the current area member of parliament. So current representative of the over 100,000 inhabitants here is from this school. And Maurice, of course, is from the school as well, and is a managing director of NIC Capital. And I am also from this school. I did my KCPA in 1997, and I was index 1. Yeah? So from there, we were how many? We were 33. I think 33, but only 32 sat for exams, for the final exams. Out of those, I'm in touch with about 5 of them, and I know for sure that one of them is in jail now. I'm told because of some local criminal activities, because he literally never went anywhere after class 8, one of us is an IT specialist. Yeah, he went to secondary and did a diploma, and one lady is a high school teacher, and I am obviously the only one still in school, and obviously the only one who went as far as I have now to be studying at the University of Hong Kong. But it has an interesting story. It has a very interesting story, the school, because the community here is also very supportive in terms of education, but there are obvious challenges to do with transition rates and even bigger challenges to do with local level poverty. Okay.
Can you show me more about your school? I mean, shall we go into one of the classroom and then?
Great. I think that I'll be more impressed going to my classroom.
Yep, let's go.
More proud going to my classroom and showing you where I sat. This one has been lately constructed with the support of the Constituency Development Fund. Kenya India established a project where every constituency gets a special fund for infrastructure development. So every constituency, which is a fairly big area, gets typically about $500,000, and that is what is used to construct to help schools construct their classrooms. This was my class. This is how it was, and we used to write a lot of things here about ourselves. Probably there's my name somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. David Atella is my cousin.
Okay.
And he's now a pharmacist in Nairobi. He got a distinction from here and in secondary.
Oh, okay.
Yes. There used to be my name somewhere here. But 16, 17 years is a long time. I used to call myself Komolo the lawyer.
Komolo the lawyer?
Yes.
Okay.
I wanted to be a lawyer for a long time.
Okay.
And here I am as a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to, because I was originally sitting somewhere here, but I would spend a lot of time outside there. So I was moved to that place. So I sat here. one way first. Yes, exactly here. Aye.
Now it's still too big.
Then I could fit. Now I
That's
can't.
too small for you. Okay.
Yes.
Yes? Oh. And then the teacher will stand here.
Yes, I'll teach from there,
Mhm.
mathematics.
Mhm.
Actually, when we were here, there was also teacher shortage, so we were never taught two subjects:
Okay.
Kiswahili and CRE, Christian Religious Education. So it happened to be the case that we had to do those exams without being taught for our year. And that's
Self-study.
Self-study, yes.
Yes.
And that requires a lot of
Yes.
motivation. So naturally, people didn't perform very well
Oh, I see.
in those subjects.
But if you have some question, how can you overcome them? For example, if you don't.
If you came across some difficulty in studying,
When you're doing self-study,
yes, you don't understand something.
what I did was because the guy who sat here, Shadrach,
Mhm.
is my friend, so we used to sometimes consult.
Okay.
Obviously, at times we were both on the negative, so we both didn't know. So at that stage, it becomes natural that there's nothing you can do. So you survive the hard way.
Okay.
But other subjects, you will ask the teachers. A bigger problem is that school is not as liberal
Yes.
as in other places. So typically, if you don't know something and you're not confident enough, you may not approach the teacher. So I think most students actually have to just keep quiet
Yes.
because the teacher is up there. But I've always been confident, so I'm the kind who will ask.
But how did you sit for the exams if you know, at some point you didn't know the answers, and how did you go for the exams? You just
It's survival for the fittest. You see, exam is multiple choices.
okay.
at
Oh, you got
primary
some way.
level.
Okay.
Yes, so you have ABC.
You got some tricks
B.
for that.
So,
Okay.
yes.
You got some key tricks for that.
Yes, so that you always have something to choose from.
Okay.
So you
Well, that's
just-
better than none. Okay.
At secondary level, it's very difficult. It's
Right.
very difficult. You have to write and all
Yeah, you
this.
have to write a
So
lot more. Okay.
you can understand what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. It's basically survival for the fittest.
That's very true. Okay.
But normally, how many students can fit into this classroom?
When we were here, we were 33 and we fitted
33.
Yes. A desk is meant to have two at class 8 level, but before, at lower
Mhm.
level when we were smaller, I think we used to share, I remember we shared 4.
4.
Yes.
Mhm.
There's a time there were no desks, so we used to sit on the stones.
Mhm.
So they'll bring stones in the mud walled houses that were there, they'll bring stones.
Mhm.
You take the biggest, and it's probably the one that is close to being flat. That happened for a long time.
Right. Mhm.
And we'll come back at night for preps. You know preps?
Mhm.
That's more of evening study.
Okay.
To study on your own, particularly in class 7 and 8.
Mhm.
And we will sleep inside the classroom. So we used to sleep inside the classroom like this, down there. It had a door,
Mhm.
but the windows were like this.
Because you have to study overnight.
Yes, you see, you're preparing for national exam. The schools are
the
competing.
preparation.
The schools are competing,
Mhm.
so you need as much time as possible to
Yes.
study.
Yes.
And most of the time, it's not possible at home.
Mhm.
So the schools have a program where students come back
Okay.
from around 7 p.m.
Okay.
to do preps and,
Okay.
and study together.
Okay.
So you bring a mat and you have a blanket here.
And probably some dinner.
No, you have to have dinner at home.
Oh, okay. You've had it. Okay.
Yes. Sadly, there was no breakfast. So if you come for preps, you can only go back home for
For
lunch.
breakfast. Okay.
For lunch. So you can imagine the pangs,
Yeah.
from
stay.
around 4 a.m.
You're so hungry.
I think it's a pretty ineffective. It's a pretty unfair
Yeah. Right.
unfair system.
When you're yes.
If at the age of 14, 13, you typically have 2 meals a day,
Yeah, yes.
lunch and dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, you come here, so because you have to be here at 7 for preps.
Right.
They take and then you don't have breakfast, and you have to wake up at 5 a.m. for another preps.
Oh.
Then you have to go for what they used to call morning activity, cleaning and
Like
yes.
some exercise? No.
When this we are in that season for sports,
Yes, okay.
then you have to go in the morning and all that.
While you're starving.
Clearly.
Oh, that was hard.
Clearly.
Okay.
But you see, I think the body adapts.
I know.
Yes, but
Yes.
you feel very hungry around 4 a.m. Around 10 a.m.
Right.
10 to around midday. So that teaching, those 2-3 last lessons for me were for a long time a nightmare.
Right.
Okay. Can I say that like the students, like in the young age, still having this kind of perhaps
Yes.
and also this kind of like studying conditions now.
Can they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are they still doing perhaps like this, like what you did
Yes.
before?
Mandela. Mandela. Perhaps politimo.
Yes.
Perhaps politimo.
Karagabur.
Yes.
They still do like this?
It continues. I mean, it's not me alone. My brother went through it.
Yes.
He went through it. The girl you've seen them is going through it.
Okay.
The girl you just met is going through it. It's a, I don't know how to describe it. If you have the privilege to go elsewhere in the world, you realize a pretty unfair education system. You see? The fact that successful people have come through it
Yes.
provides some incentive to sustain it, I think. So,
Maybe there's a kind of mechanism that try to train up the best, the fittest.
yes.
Yes.
It's very difficult to go through this system and fail to appreciate, if you have the opportunity, fail to appreciate the need to come back and interview.
Yes.
It's very difficult. Problem is these schools don't have a strong alumni network.
Right.
So, and that also happens in universities here. So, people are typically not very proud of having come from this place because nobody bothers to follow once you leave. I think they will do substantially better if they nurture that sort of community of alumni, and then you see they rival each other. So if Kirongo is competing Kachar in terms of alumni mobilization,
Yes.
then chances are they'll have a lot of resources. So I think I challenged them last year. I
Yes.
think they need to think outside the typical box
Yes.
of government having to construct a classroom, or community having to, you see, get money through the parents,
Yes.
or for that matter, NGOs having to come in to support,
Right.
to more of innovative ways like nurturing alumni.
Yes.
And this school, my cousin is a pharmacist.
As a pharmacist in
Yes.
Nairobi.
Yes, Nelson will soon be a financial analyst. John is a military man. I am a lawyer, Morris and all this. So if they nurture this community of alumni, I think they're able to get some good money per year.
Yes.
And that can be used to do better classroom, electricity connection, and probably have a feeding program for class 8.
Okay. So you don't have to go through the crafts in that conditions again.
Yes, I think so. So this is something that I think they should do. It can be done through social media.
Yes.
It's probably not a culture that is in existence in Kenya, but there's no harm in trying it.
Yes.
And I think the current head teacher, he comes from this area, so I think he's the kind who can take up such challenges.
Yes.
And I hope they do.
Let's hope that we can work it out together. Yeah.
Keith, clearly you have a lot about me to share on my
I will stop here.